Welcome to the Dead Bedroom Revival Podcast. My name is Corey, your host, and I'm very, very excited to be making this episode. Like, very excited because there's a thing I'm beginning to call it slippery slope to a sexless marriage, or a slippery slope to being irresistible. And I think, slippery slope to being irresistible man in your house. And this is stemmed from the fact that right now I'm outside about to go and do jiu-jitsu for the first time. So I've got my gear on, my white belt on. It's a Saturday. I've been working all night and I've only had 2 hours sleep. And when I woke up to come to this place, I had that feeling of, do I want to go? I just fear in my mind because it's my first time. Is it going to be rough? Is it going to be good? You know, and all these feelings that you feel just like when you wake up on a Monday and it's time to go to the gym, or you're supposed to go for a run, or you're supposed to go and do some work. You know, sometimes you end up giving yourself this excuse like, oh no, maybe let me go and do it next week. Maybe let me go to the gym. And this was what was going through my mind. I was like, maybe I'll go to the gym. Maybe I can train later on in the day. And really, we've all gone through that. But there's an effect for doing that. The moment you make that decision, it's now a slippery slope of more bad decisions because you start giving yourself more excuses. So anything that is difficult, you give yourself another excuse to get out of it. Now, this is very important in terms of your relationship because yesterday I sent a message to my wife. I sent it to some friends and said I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu for the first time, and all of a sudden, if my wife woke up and then found me in bed without going to jiu-jitsu, she'd be like, what happened? And I would have to give an excuse of a reason why I didn't go for jiu-jitsu, which then she would take it, but it's just a stain on the fact that you're not committed, you're not, don't have that staying power. And this is one of those things when it comes to speaking to somebody, I said, this is what defines you as a leader, to be able to say something and then you execute. And it seems trivial when you think it's jiu-jitsu, but everything that you do, every action that you do is what sort of helps you to make another decision further on in the front. And for me to build trust in the fact that I can say something and execute and do it consistently, that can actually build confidence in her, in my decision making, and my ability to execute. So it seems like it's way off being in a sexless marriage, but all of these things count to building that irresistibility. And one of the signs or things that you can learn to be irresistible to your partner is to be a lot more taking leadership decisions. And what leaders do is make a decision, and then despite of how they feel and how difficult it might be, you actually go and execute. And this comes to difficult conversations. This comes to difficult conversations outside your relationship. All of these things are things that you have to commit, and it feels shared, it feels embarrassing, it feels you have to go through it, be able to execute. And 9 times out of 10, you'll come out and she'll respect you a whole lot more for being able to say that you're going to do something, then you execute. So this is one of those episodes that I'm actually living it right now. I'm outside, I'm about to go in. I don't even know what to expect. I don't know if the guys are going to be rough. And the one thing I know for a fact is that I'm going to be completely rubbish. So I'm learning a new skill. I'm going to be very forgiving for myself, so I'm not going to be so hard on myself. But at the same time, I'm not going to expect to know everything as well. So again, you know, most people, they are not willing to put themselves out there, because if I make a decision and execute, if I fail on that thing, then it defines me. It doesn't define me, actually makes me stronger. So that's one of those things that, again, you know, if you put yourself out there, it doesn't mean you're not going to fail, or you're not going to get knocked back. You have to be actually willing to make that decision, execute, and then be able to accept that it's not going to work out. And when it doesn't work out, it just makes you that much stronger to come back next time so you can execute again. So this week I'm going to get beaten up, next week for sure I'm going to get beaten up, the week after I'm going to get beaten up, and it might actually take 6 to 7 months before I'm actually at least competitive. So again, it's one of those things that you have to start considering within your relationship, that if you're in a sexless relationship, one of the reasons is that you've got a habit of making excuses, and those excuses turn into bad decisions, and then those bad decisions just turn into something where you are lacking confidence, lacking, self-loathing, sometimes even depression, and you put yourself in those situations where you start experiencing those things. So hopefully this helps somebody. And if you want more help in understanding more of these concepts, go to www.deadbedroomrevival.com. You're going to get a link to their Facebook group, and with the Facebook group you'll be able to get more lessons like this in video, and you'll be able to meet other men, like-minded men, where you can actually go and communicate and learn together, and then grow together as well. So thank you very much. See you soon. Take care.